for pie. It's 11:30. Hello. Hi. Hi. Oh my God, that thing's bright. Maybe that's too bright. I don't know. We gotta turn that puppy down a notch. What is that? Oh, yeah, it's a little less harsh. Hi. So, hi, it's Alison Arngrim in the kitchen. Roswell's over there. She's asleep. Don't wake the kitty. Everything's blue. I have my blue apron because we're making blueberry pie. Yes, who's going... Oh, I love my hair like this. We're doing Who's Going to Do the Cooking in my kitchen here with Alison. Yeah. And, oh, there you all are. Good. So, I'm making blueberry pie. Blueberry pie. Now, we made apple pie last week. It seems so long ago. Apple pie. And we used a button crust. We simply bought a crust that was frozen and made the apple pie and put it in it, because the complicated part with apple pie is the apple filling, because you have to get all that brown sugar and cinnamon and whatnot, whereas the crust we just said, pfft. So today though, because blueberry pie, it's like blueberries, a little bit of sugar, boom, boom, boom. We're going to get crazy and make pie crust, which is kind of hard. Now, I was just doing some last night, as you know me, the Atlanta head girl. So, as I comb my hair in front of you, and it was great, but I realized, like, it's a whole thing of, is there enough fat, enough flour? Is it too warm, too cold? I had to chill it. I've chilled a hunk of dough, like, overnight, so I can show you the whole process. Because it does, if it's too soft, then you can't pick it up and put it in the pan. It falls apart in your hands. If it's too hard, then you do that too. It's complicated, but it's okay, because we'll make it like uncomplicated. So, pie! How do we make pie? So, first we pour ourselves a big glass of Diet Coke, because that's always terribly important. Oh. Now, we have here, for starters, you know, about a ton of blueberries. We won't need this many, but what the heck. Things that go in it. I was reading this recipe, and it talks about using cloves, a tiny bit spicy blueberry pie, hint of cloves, not a lot of thing. Also, apparently, you put lemon juice in your blueberry pie. Who knew? It calls for something insane, like an entire cup of sugar, and I'm like, that's way too much sugar. These are blueberries. They're sweet, so I don't know. I'm gonna add sugar, but not that much. And then there's the whole dotting with butter or whatnot, and you do that. So, how do we make pie? How does this work? So, what we're doing is, Crisco. I use, yes, Crisco. I know, it's like, ew, Crisco. I guess, yeah, you can make an all butter pie crust. You can do just butter, but that gets into like a French pastry, and it'd be very rich. Not to mention, expensive. For flakiness, though, that's why people use things like lard. Crisco really does. I know it's a commercial. Crisco really makes good pie crust. I know, it's basically hydrogenated vegetable. It's probably really bad for you. I don't know. But I'm telling you, this is how you make pie crust. This is the thing. So we have the thing and the spoon. I'm gonna move my blueberries over here out of my way. Here, small space. Space! And we're going to get a nice bowl here, because we're going to dump it. Kitty, now see, Roswell is already helping. Are you helping? Yes, are you helping? But I'm gonna have to move you, because you're helping, and you're gonna make a mess. Come here, baby. We're going to go in the other room. Okay. This is a little too helpful. And then flour. Any flour will do. Flour, all-purpose flour, just flour. Also, apparently for some weird reason, salt. So, we've done the thing where we've pre-done some stuff, so it's going to be like, abracadabra. So there'll be a lot of that going on. I have a tool I like. Again, you can use a fork. This is called a pastry cutter. Look at this thing. Little handle. It's dangerous. It's not sharp, but you could sort of hurt yourself. It is called a pastry cutter and has these little blades. They're not like sharp like knives. They're not sharp, but and this side's actually sharp. And this actually gets the shortening into the flour. This is a genius thing. And you can get it in, like, pretty much anywhere cheap. It's not expensive. I need to wipe this bowl real quick. This is so much fun. Demo bowl. Okay, so what happens here? One of the things you use for making pie crust is ice water. What? This is where I get to use my ice machine. Yay, ice. We love that. Cold water. Woo, ice machine. Love that thing. Seriously, ice water. Ice water, yeah. That was my problem actually this morning. I was making, the pre-pastry, and it wasn't cold enough, and I didn't have enough ice water in it, and it was like, pastry crisis, but it worked out. So, what do we need? 2 cups of flour, seriously. Tra-la-la-la. Measuring cup. Da-da-da. 1. Enough. Look, it's a cup of flour. Plus a little. Very gently. I have to get more flour today. I do. See, we overdid it. That's why we have this bowl. You get another bowl. We have so many bowls, thank God. And if you notice on the cooking show, what they usually do is pour it over a bowl. So when it does that. So this is 1 cup. Beautiful. This is scoopy, scoopy, scoopy. Scoopy. Look, 2 cups. And now we have extra for the board, which we will need. We will totally need. Now, weirdly, like I said, it says salt. A lot of salt. No. Very little salt. How much salt? Teeny. 1 teaspoon. Little tiny spoon, tiny spoon, tiny spoon, teaspoon. Boom. That's that. There's salt. That's all. That's all you need. No more. Fab. Now, this is exciting. So, 3/4 of a cup. What does it say on the can? Does it say 2/3 cup here? 3/4 of a cup. That's a lot. But I'm not arguing with the makers of Crisco. They know what they're doing. So 3/4 of a cup. Well, here's a 1/2 cup. Fractions. See, here's the thing with cooking. There is some math. 3/4 of a cup. You might have a 3/4 measure, but what you probably have is a 1/2 and a 1/4. 4/4 is 1, 1/2 is 2/4. I know, it's not high math, but for me, this is like, fractions, math. So there, that's 3/4 of a cup. So where are we going to do with this? We're going to scoop, and they said, make that, first it should be cold. It needs to be cold. All right, cold it is. When I was in home ec, we had these big flat blades called spatulas, not pancake turners, spatulas. I'm just using a knife. Just a cup, 1/4. It came out, yay. Now, the fun part, scoop. That's that stuff. So much pie. Pie! Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Have to fill her up. Fill her up! Spatula, well, not a spatula, like home ec spatula, but indeed a scoopy thing like this guy to get stuff out of things. Very, very handy bowl scrapers thing. Okay. Tra-la-la-la-la-la. Get in there. Oh, we lost my Crisco. Okay, notice the Crisco is fluffy and white. Any fluffy white vegetable shortening will do. There's a couple of brands that are famous for their pie crust. I like the Crisco, I really do. So there, now we have 3/4 of a cup. That is a lot of Crisco. That is a lot of Crisco. And we have flour. Now, I just turned on the oven. Why did I turn on the oven? Because we need to pre-bake our crust just a little bit. And we need it warm from when we bake the pie. So I've turned on the oven to, what did I turn it on to? Not too hot, like 300. We'll go with 300 to start. We are going to turn it to 450 when we put the pie in. We are going to turn it to 450 for that 10-minute thing and then that. So, following along. So now what happens? Crisco. This is the fun part. This is my favorite part of pie making, actually. I love this part. This is so much fun. We're going to tilt the camera for it and everything. Can you see the bowl? Yes. We're going to turn the lights up. Can we turn the light up? Make it brighter? No, brighter, brighter. Yeah. There you go. Ooh. There we go. So, bowl of stuff. Zooming in on it. Pastry cutter. Ooh. And that's what you do. If you literally squish the shortening into the flour using the fancy little pastry cutter. At first it's like, that doesn't seem to be doing anything. Yes, it is. There you go. It's happening. This is how you make pie crust. This is where pie crust comes from. This is all about it. So, where's the thing? Someone saying, please, please, what? Hello, I am Estelle from France. I love you. Bonjour, bonjour Estelle. Calme, calme. Restez calme. Tout c'est bien. Look at that. Je fais le théâtre, Estelle. Je fais le théâtre maintenant. Bonjour. So, we make... Oh, it's happening, it's happening. Do you see that things are happening? Things are happening. This is great. Okay. Oh, look. You see, it starts breaking up into little pieces in the flour. And what it makes is little beads. I love that there's all these French people watching. I'm teaching French people to cook. Okay. Look at that. Yeah. And you kind of just keep doing it until, look, there's like almost nothing on the blade. Because now what you have are, they talk about pea-sized chunks. Little tiny chunks of, get in there. Get in there. Yeah. Flour-coated Crisco. You can do this. This sometimes is also a way you might make biscuits if you made them from scratch. This is a key element in a lot of baking. Like Bisquick has already done this for you, where they put the shortening in the flour and stuff and the raising. But for biscuits and for pie crust and pastry, this is a thing you need to know how to do, is get your fat, in this case Crisco, in your flour and smush it up endlessly with your little cutter until it just doesn't even look like flour anymore. Look at that. Well, it looks like Bisquick is what it looks like. See how beads of stuff. It's like here, it's like little pea, it's chunk. You can feel that it's a little greasy. In fact, if you do that, look, see, it's trying to be pie crust, but it is not pie crust yet. How does this become pie crust? The cold water, how much? Tablespoons, the big spoon, tablespoons of ice water. Now it says 4 or 5. Woo! 1, 2, 3. I'm going to start mixing now, really. Where's my fork? I have a fork. I love my fork. Fork! Oh, look, there's my fork. Fork. Now we're going to start mixing in that cold water. Might need more. In fact, we do need more, because that was my problem with my pastry earlier. It was soft. More water. Woo! Now a little more. Woo! Look at that. Now, you see it's starting to clot. This is where it gets exciting. Clean hands. Oh no! Look, it's turning into pastry. Look at that. It's starting to turn to pie crust. Oh, it's turning into pie crust. Definitely needs more. And that's the thing. You have to be careful. Too much flour, it's too dry, it's tough. Too much water, it's chewy and terrible. Fat makes it flaky. Too much fat, it becomes so soft. Like right now, this is way too soft. This is lovely, but you'd never be able to put it in the pie pan because it'd fall apart in your little hands. Yes. So that's why we're going to add a little more. Ice water, just a little bit at a time. You don't want to get crazy. Go. Yeah, there we go. Ice water. Now it's sticky, terrible. Ooh, sticky, boo. No, sticky good. Sticky is good. Look at that. And that is turning into pie crust. It's a lot of pie crust. This is enough to make a top and bottom crust, actually. So now what happens? So as you see, this is now squish, 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 squish. It's turned, look at that. It is turned into pie crust dough. Yay! Now, the fun part here, we're going to tilty back up. Hi! So, the thing is here, it's turned into pie crust dough, but it's very soft. You could roll it out. We're going to try. Hold this. No, I don't have a cat. Right, hold this. So, take this, and this is where, notice I have this plastic thing here that says Tupperware, and it's this plastic sheet. This is where you need a plastic sheet or plastic wrap or tinfoil, something to cover the board. A wooden board is fine. but for giant mess, this is great. This is my special Tupperware pie crust thing, which actually has rings for sizes of the crust so you can roll it out correctly. Really. Now, we're going to take some of this here flour and dump it on the surface. Messy, messy, messy. That's why we keep talking about the thing here. Now, I'm doing this as a sample because you know I have some chilled in the fridge, don't you? You knew that. There's the thing. There it is. And we got to tilt. We got to tilt again. Here, I'm going to try not to get flour on my camera. Don't get flour on the camera. No. So, what do we got here? Oh, look. It's a lump of dough. This is rolling pin. Rolling pin is good. Flour, flour, flour. Lots of flour. And you're seeing the process here. This is quite soft, but it's pretty good. And with that extra flour it's getting in the rolling, there you see, that's pretty good. I'm tempted to use this. I have some chilled. Of course I do. Because I made some. And I have to admit, this dough is a bit soft. But this is pretty good for a super soft warm dough. I'm not complaining about this. I've got this cold dough, but it's a little high fat. Like, I think this has more water. Oh yeah, I'll mix a little in. What the hell? I think we're going to use the warm dough. I'm that confident about this dough. I really am. So we'll mix some of this in. That's a little soft. Look at it cool. They tell you to chill your dough. I wrapped it in wax paper and put it in a Ziploc and chilled it. It does make it stick together better. But, what the heck, we're not too worried. And this dough is really sticking together. I'm very impressed with how this dough is sticking together. I'm very excited about that. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get lots of flour here. Yeah, moving things out of the way. And we're just going to do it. Where's the pie pan? We have a pie pan? We totally have a pie pan. We do. Little tiny pie pan, but it's not a deep dish like the apple. Not a deep dish, not a deep dish, but it's lovely. Put that there. And now we're going to take a big mess of dough. Lots of it. Squishy, 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 squishy. And we're going to actually, because I need this to stick together and become a mass, I'm going to actually put some more cold water on it. What? Yes, a little sprinkling of cold water. Oh, look, now it's sticking together. Yeah! Yeah, okay. Squish, squish. Huzzah! Onto the floured board. Floured rolling pin. Squish, squish, squish. Rolly, rolly. Look at that. Why, it looks lovely. Oh, this is going to be great. This is rolling really nicely. Gotta move my Crisco and my sugar out of the way. Sorry. Come back here, pie pan. Oh yeah, there we go. Now, you don't want to roll it too thin. You're not making, like, you know, that pastry, the Greek stuff. You're not making phyllo. It doesn't have to be paper thin. It does not need to be paper thin. You do not need to be able to see through it. You have to have some body. It's going to hold a pie, for heaven's sake. So here. Yeah. But we need to squish it. You kind of want it to be an even thickness if you can. It may be difficult. Look at that. Flour, flour, flour. Yes, there we go. Come on, y'all. Ooh. If it sticks to the roller, if it sticks to the board, more flour, more flour. Yeah. Now, this isn't too big a pie pan, so I think we're going to get away with this. Yes. Look at that puppy. Yes. I'm very excited about my pie crust. Now what happens? Well, now, yes. So now what happens? Well, now we take our fabulous pie pan. And this is it. This is the hardest part of making a pie. This is the hardest part of making a pie. Getting the crust in the pan without it falling apart. This is the hard part, I swear, okay? So, some people like, so someone just said, you like your pie crust thick, right? Thick, thick, thick. But in this case, that's going to be good. That's going to be good. Now, how am I going to do this? This is hard. This is the hard part. I always get frustrated because it cracks. It cracks. But this is why we have the ice water, because we can fix it with the ice water. Ice water is like the crazy glue of pie crust. You can stick things back together. So look at that, look at that. Now look, it's lifting, not terribly. It wants to fall apart, but it's not being too terrible. So, can I do it? Can I do it? I don't know. Maybe. I think it's going to crack. It's totally going to crack. Wait. Water. A little water here. Stick. Water there. Stick. Stick, you devil. There. This could work. I got a pancake. Just make sure it's not stuck to anything underneath here. Come on. You can do it. Yes, pie crust. Behave, oh pie crust. We don't need quite that big chunk there or that there. Take that off. That'll help. That's so heavy. All right, come on, y'all. We can do it. Don't stick. Yes, it's gonna work. This is gonna work. Lifty, yes. And a 1 and a 2. Oh, come on now, pie. Be good. Don't give me a hard time. So I can also use this thing to go. Oh, lippy. Yes, kind of. All right, yo, it worked. Wait. Yes, get in there, you little. Now, as you can see, it cracked. But not completely. Not completely. This is not, we didn't use the chilled dough. We decided that the fresh dough, even though it was warm, looked really, really good. So we decided to go with that, and it's working. So I'm squishing a little bit. Now, not too much. There's a lot of stuff in the cookbook about overstretching of dough and how overstretching the dough in the pie pan can be a problem. So we're not going to overstretch. We're just going to squish and crimp, squish and crimp, squish and crimp so that it is filling the pie pan correctly. And we can stretch along the edges. And as you see, it's doing its thing. It's out to the edges. Anywhere where there's a problem, we're going to do a top crust. Take a little cold water. Stick a little piece on. I know, cheating. Cliche. But that's a thing with pie. It's a little more forgiving than a lot of other pastry. You can sneak things in there. So, we now have stuck that on there. Definitely dip a piece in water, stick it. Oh, look at that. That's lovely. We're also going to do a top crust, as I said, so that's going to cover up these edges that are being an issue. Won't be a problem down the road. But look at that. That's pretty good, right? Now it's going to get really fun in a minute. Bye. Squish. Stay. Good. Now, I am going to take the fork and anything. Stab. Prick it. Squish. Don't want it too thick. You get those pockets where it's too thick. Squish it. Stab. Like I said, the more you chill your dough, the more water you put, the tougher it'll get and the more it'll stick together, but you don't want to too much. The more fat, the softer and flakier it is. I'm going to put this in the oven. What? Yes, I'm going to put this in the oven. That's what do we got? 300. 300 is a lovely temperature, but you know, we need it hot because ultimately, there. Okay, I went crazy. All right. I just put it in the oven at 400 degrees. Now, what am I doing now? Well, now, we're going to put it in there for a couple of minutes because we want it to get, we don't want it to be soggy, and it will be soggy if we just put the blueberries into raw pie. So the question becomes, but what are we going to put on top? Well, classically, what we would do, there's the rest of the pie crust, is make another one of those and put it on top. Boy, you want a lot of cold water in that one because you don't want that one falling apart. So what do you do if you haven't really done this before and you're kind of like, yeah, I'm not so sure about this. What am I doing here? Well, what we do is we take some good pie dough. Look at that. That so needs water. Mess. There. Stick together, would you? Thanks. Jeez. Okay. We're going to take some more pie crust stuff here. Squish. Yeah, there you go. Nice and sticky and terrible. Ooh. It's lovely. How are we doing? I've only been at this half an hour. We're doing very well. Okay. Move these things. Anyway, yes. Now what happens? Squish, squish. Oh, that's lovely. Nice and sticky and terrible. Lots of flour. Ta-da. Boom. Roly, roly, roly. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yes, roly, roly. More flour. Thank you, roly, roly. Now, I rolled one out, you know I made one, right, last night, and did make a tall one. I'm going to show you a trick, though. We're going to play tricks, because what do we do if it's hard, like if it's difficult? We make a lattice work top. That's right, we do. You seeing that? We're going to cut this strips. That's a little thick. I'm going to put that down there. That's right. Doesn't need to be that way. We're cutting it in strips. Because we are going to make the cross hatch, the lattice work, the little baskety top, which is a lot easier than the top one for, lifting things. Get the idea. But what about the blueberries? Well, there you go. So the blueberry thing is going to happen now. Is that pie? It's getting, ooh, it's doing it. Very excited about that. So, blueberries, yes, blueberries. So, got another bowl. It takes a lot of bowls to do this. What are we doing with the blueberries? It says 4 cups of blueberries. What? Yes, 4 cups of blueberries. Tilty, tilty, tilty. Let's go back up. Yeah. Hello, 4 cups of blueberries. So, I have here again, measuring cup. A little flour on it, don't care. And I have blueberries. Now, this is a pretty small pie. I don't know. You are not really going to get all 4 cups in. But I don't care. In fact, I just put 3 cups because do I have some leftover ones that I put sugar on and everything? Yeah, I do. Where'd it go? I had some in the fridge because I had so much left over. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, here, these have like some butter and foof on them already. I don't want to waste them. Yay. Open there. Okay, thanks. Those are from before. Because they're goopy. Why are they goopy? Because we put a couple of tablespoons of flour. What? Yes. This makes the pie sort of, the gooey blueberry stuff congeal. So we're putting a tiny bit. I don't think we're going to need a whole 4 tablespoons. I'm saying 3 tablespoons is quite sufficient. Thank you. Dash of salt. Again, I'm like, ew, pie. Okay. This is where it gets interesting. Cloves. I saw this recipe for spicy, Teeny's fit, spicy blueberry pie. So I'm putting cloves. I'm putting cloves in my blueberry pie. Maybe we need that other cup. There's the 4th cup. We'll never fit it all in. Now, sugar. This thing says, oh yeah, a cup of sugar. Are you crazy? Do you know how much sugar that is? So that's a lot of sugar. I'm not sure I want to do a whole cup of sugar. That's like, no, that's way too much sugar. So I'm doing like half a cup of sugar. We'll do half a cup, and I'm not even sure I'm going to use all of that. I'm shaking in, yeah, that's enough. I'm not putting a whole cup of sugar in there. That would be disgusting, because it's already so super duper deliciously sweet. Oh, crunchy crust. Are we a little baked? Yeah, so that's looking good. A little more. Now, nom, 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 nom. Look at that. So now we have blueberries and flour and sugar. Or a little more sugar. Still not a cup. I didn't even do half a cup. Sugar, cloves, and apparently for some weird reason, lemon juice. Just a little bit. Dash, dash. Whee! They tell you to put in all this sugar, and then they say now add lemon juice. Won't that make it sour? There, look! That's what goes in the pie. That part's really kind of easy. Now, pie crust! Come here. That's better. Okay, that looks pretty good. Look at that! Look, it's not all... Look, it looks like pie. It's like solidifying and everything. It looks like pie. Isn't that lovely? So now what happens? Well, now, here, we're going to dump blueberries in the pie. That's never, you're not going to fit all of that in a pie. I jammed in almost that much earlier. I made the whole pie. Squish, squish, squish. Good enough. How's that? Oh, that looks great. Okay. It's too much, way too much. Okay. I'll take these away. Okay. Look. This is a nicely, almost crisp crust. Hot, hot, hot. Wait, pot holder. Still warm. Pot holders, pie. Okay, yum. This is now, look, see, you have a pie crust. It doesn't matter if the edges are a little messy. They're not going to see it. And it's full of blueberries with flour and sugar. You also now, get this, dot it with butter. A tiny amount of butter. And you're supposed to put just a little of this around, mixed in, like on the top. Like, there, that's, nom, nom, nom. Dotted with butter. It mixes with the flour and it makes, pie stuff. Now, what are we putting on it? Are we gonna make a full crust? We're gonna do lattice work. Full crust, lattice work. So, I cut strips. They're a little thick. It'll be fine. Oh, look! Tilt. Yeah, down. Yeah. Look at that. Stretchy. Come on, don't break. Here, there it goes. Look. Oh, it's going to be great. Tra-la-la-la-la-la. This one's quite thick. It's too thick. Ah, it's too thick. What am I doing? Okay, wait. There we go. Cut that down. Cut that puppy down. Cut. Trim. Lovely. Look at that one. Go there. And see, they stick to the end of the thing. Totally works. Oh, here, I can put this over here because this is like the end. It's kind of I know it's like, that doesn't look good. That's not lattice work. It will be. Hang on. It's totally going to be lattice work. Yes. Oh, look. I just did a crosswise one, and it looks lovely. Look at that. So we need one more across here for sure. Oh, look at that. Crimp. One more there. My lattice work, I know, it's not very even. I see that, but it's delicious. It's going to be delicious. It's not. Come here, Mr. Lattice work. There we go. I need this one, yeah. Cut. Oh, lovely. Gimme. Yeah, I'm going to do that one. Look! Lattice work. Now wait, do we need more? Yes, because we need to do that one. This is so cute. See, it's almost a whole lattice. Not quite. It's getting there. It's so getting there. I can do this one short. That can be short. That. Need another decently sized long one here. Oh, that one's not bad. Wait. Oh, here, this one's good. Wait. Squishy. Oh, look at that one. A little bit. It's a small one. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to connect it to this piece here. We're just going to count it. Is it messy? Am I making a mess? Oh, look, it's the cold water thing. Sticky. Squish. Get on there. Squish. It's totally working. Now that's very messy. But look, it's a lattice work pie. It worked. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to taste so good. No one will care. But you've created a lattice work, which is easier than trying to lift the whole thing on top. Now, is it going to be shiny? Yes, because I have beaten an egg. Open sesame. This is a beaten egg. And we're going to do the dab thing on the lattice work. Tra-la, just a little bit. Dab. So it will be golden and crunchy. This will also help all the pieces stick together. Stick. There you go. Stick together, guys. Yeah. Now, the other thing we're going to do, remember, I love this thing that the pie crust keeps. This keeps the edges from getting brown. It also, crimp, makes stuff stick together. Yeah, that puppy's going to be on there. I think it needs a little sugar on top of the egg wash. We have that here so we can go. A little la 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 la. That makes the shiny, sugary top. Oh my God. Okay, pie. So now, what are we going to do? Da, 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 da. This is kind of amazing. So, and now, look, it looks like, doesn't it? It looks like a pie now. It's full of blueberries and sugar. It looks totally like a pie. And now, we're going to shove it in the oven now. Yeah, get in there. Now I'm going to show you, we're going to go over here for a second because, we're going over here because I have, I have put, I'm just going to take, we're going to go like GoPro here. Follow me. Look, see, what have I done? I have put tin foil on the rack under the pie because pie, the juices, they overflow, especially blueberry, and it gets all over the oven, and it's very bad, big mess. So you put tin foil, just put some tin foil on the floor of your oven. They sell those oven sheets you can stick under, or in this case, just on the rack. So that's going to take a while. We're going to do it at 450 for 10 minutes, and then it's going to be 350 for like 30 minutes. What are we going to do now? We're going to eat this pie. That's what we're going to do now. We have pie, because I already made one, because, yes, it's like a cooking show. So, da-da-da-da. Pie? Yes, pie. We have pie. We totally have pie. So, now, ow, look, it's a pie. Where did that come from? So, here is the pie that I made last night. Well, actually this morning, I made the dough last night, and I made this pie this morning. So, and it's hot. It is still hot. Hot. I need light. And more light. There you go. This is so much fun. Okay, so this should be a super good blueberry pie, super sweet. So we're gonna cut this puppy. I'm trying not to make any more of a mess than I've already destroyed my kitchen here. Crisco. Kniff. Very sharp knife. Cutting pie. Right here. Oh, look at that crust. Look at that crust. Sure, cut. All the way in. Don't want to get. Come on now. Behave yourself. Ooh, let's move it. Mobility here. Come on, oh yeah, it's gonna work. Ugh. It's really hot. It's very hot. You like that? Okay. Rock and roll. Now, notice that the golden crust, look at that. It's flaky. Look at that. Flaky pastry. And let's look at the inside of the pie. Can you see the inside of the pie here? It's not too hot. There we go. Filled with gooey blueberry goodness. I'm eating this piece. Is almost all pastry. This is so much better than the frozen one. Frozen one was good. It's a good brand, but oh my God, right? I'm glad. Now, yeah, okay, if I put the whole cup of sugar, it would have been cloyingly sweet. I like the tartness of the blue, so this is delicious. It's sweet enough. And I'm tasting the cloves. I'm tasting the hot cloves. Crunchy. Like a cookie. And then, okay, under crust. There's the two halves. Oh, this is so good. The crust on the bottom, the steaming blueberries. The crust on the bottom isn't flaky. Yes. Melt in your mouth. It just falls apart. Thin. flaky pie crust. This is so good. Yes, we have ice cream in the fridge. And later I'll have ice cream. And like, okay, here's a big thick piece off the end, but look how it is. Look how, like, flaky. Real flaky pie crust. It's so good. Hot, boiling, slightly spicy clove, blueberries. Oh my god, that's good. Percival would be so proud. Percival would be so proud. Right? And you know, the funny thing is, I mean, I could always cook, so that's why it's all hilarious, all this, you know, Nellie can't cook. I can cook. I could always cook. But Steve Tracy, who played Percival, he did cook. He could totally cook. He used to make homemade pasta from scratch. Crazy stuff. So, fantastic. So, that is blueberry pie. I'm going to check this one in the oven here. Oh, that is going to be gorgeous. It's doing things in the oven here. This is right now, it's at, as I said, it's 450. There's the lattice work. Yeah. So that's going to get like golden brown. And in 10 minutes, I'll turn the heat down. And then it's going to be, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes really to congeal. More, good 35 minutes. And then it'll be pie. And it'll be lattice work. So you can do, there you go. Now you've seen how to do it. The trick is, so that your crust doesn't fall apart, is the ice water. You may need to add more ice water to get your dough firm. But don't add too much or it'll get too tough. Don't spare the Crisco. Put a ton of Crisco. It sounds like a lot to have 3/4 of a cup of fat to only 2 cups of flour. But yes, that's what you want to do. You can always add more flour. You can always add more water. You can't add more fat. So you want to do that. And that will get you a flaky pie crust. And that's how you make blueberry pie. Look at my tongue. My teeth are blue. My teeth are blue. I'm so happy. All right. There you go. That is how you make pie. Ta-da. I don't know what I'm making next week, but I'm not making pie. I'm not doing this again. Till 12:14, so 1:30 we'll have the reading. Maybe a little later. I got to clean up this mess of the kitchen. Here, kitchen is a disaster. Okay, and we'll clean that up. Throw it all in the dishwasher, and there you go. This could be a hoot. So there you go. I'm so glad. So Carol said, what if you did have Crisco, have butter? You could. Very rich. Like I said, the richer it is, harder to get it in that pan. But there you go. All right. Thank you. There's today's lesson, blueberry pie. See ya.